Hello everyone and welcome back to the Mindful Homestead. My name is Jack and today is the day where I finally unveil what we are getting for a new tractor here on the homestead. So stay tuned. So I'm here at Central New Hampshire Trailers and Equipment in Loudon, New Hampshire, and today we are here checking out and getting the rundown on our brand new TYM 494 cab hydrostat tractor that we're going to be using on the Mindful Homestead. That's right, we settled on a TYM. We're going red. We're leaving Kubota. Not for any reason, you know, that Kubota's bad, but TYM is bringing something to the table. They're a new tractor brand relatively here in the States as far as people knowing them, and they're bringing a lot of A-game to the table on what they're offering, bang for the buck. And for us as a really small farm, that's important for us to get the most out of what we spend our earnings on. I'm actually here with Reed Lanfer. He's the president and CEO. He's the president and CEO of Central New Hampshire Trailers and Equipment and Scott's Recreation up in Turner, Maine. They are two of the, I would say, the largest TYM dealers here in New England. And you guys are growing like crazy too. You're putting new spots all over the place and getting tractors into markets that you've never seen a TYM before. Wanted to talk with Reed real quick about what's going on with TYM that they're kind of busting onto the scene and doing so well these last couple of years, because you never used to see them back in the day. And now all of a sudden, you're seeing them pop up everywhere.
It's an awesome question. So we took on TYM about 4 years ago when they were starting to revamp their brand, revamp their dealer network, and really make a charge at the market. It's been an awesome growth and support from the manufacturer. They're South Korean built, great quality. Some other brands that come out of South Korea are going to be Hyundai, Kia, LG, Samsung. A lot of like the Bobcat tractors these days are built down there.
You got Doosan as well, right?
Doosan, yep, it's a great, good one. So I mean, we love the South Korean technology, quality, consistency. They're great. They've been investing heavily. They got a new distribution center going in Rome, Georgia. They're going to spend, I think it's over $20 million down there. They went from, I guess the best way to put it is 5 to 10 years ago, the U.S. was looked at not as their like primary focus market, like because they're a global company, and they've really gone like, wow, like let's like really make the U.S. market a sustainable long-term investment for us where we want to be a top 3 brand.
And you guys have how many locations in New England that you're selling TYM tractors out of?
Starting from the north, we got a brand new state-of-the-art facility being built in Holton, Maine, kind of the end of the interstate up in Maine.
Serving the North Country up there.
Absolutely, the county they call it,
Yep.
and great place, great people up there. Work your way a little south, just outside of Bangor, we have our Orono location.
Yep.
That is 100% dedicated to TYM tractors right now, so we don't sell any of the trailers or anything there. So Orono is just tractors. Our largest flagship store is Turner. That's where we have the most inventory. Man, we got, I think we're almost 80 employees at that store, so it's huge. And then where we're standing now, Loudon, New Hampshire, under the Central New Hampshire Trailers and Equipment name. This is a lot of growth opportunity down here.
Yep.
We're working through early stages of building a new facility up the road by the racetrack. So this is going to be our primary hub going forward. I think we're going to outpace Turner in terms of sales, staff, and inventory down here.
And that's huge, because what a lot of people say when you're buying a tractor is you're not just buying the tractor, you're buying the dealer. And, you know, for a lot of, you know, in the past, a lot of people have worried about the South Korean brands. You know, am I going to be able to get parts for it? Is the dealer I'm working with right now, are they still going to be around in a couple years? You guys have really you have a backbone in the area already, and now you're adding these you've added these tractors to your sales ability, and you're putting a lot of effort behind servicing them as well and taking care of the customer afterwards.
Yeah, to add on that a little bit, like, I mean, you, Jack, awesome guy. Like, you're putting your trust in us as a dealership and the brand. Like, I take that seriously. We have about 2,600 Jacks out there in the field since we took on these tractors 4 years ago. We sold a lot. I mean, literally have several thousand people relying on us as a dealership to keep their tractors up and going. If they break down, we got to help them get it fixed. And I take that very seriously. I mean, it's my name, my family's name, our company name, our employees' name attached to the reputation of the parts and service. So we're making investments literally every single week. We got brand new service truck down here, multiple service trucks in Maine. I just ordered 3 new F600s with Palfinger bodies. We're working on a parts warehouse kind of thing that we're trying to execute on to increase some of our stocking amounts there. So we're not perfect, nobody is, but we are actively working every single day to be the best customer service for parts and after sales support.
I gotta say, like, when I was doing research not only on TYM tractors, but I was researching you guys as the dealer I was gonna be buying from, I found on a lot of like Facebook groups dedicated to TYM and tractor forums that are dedicated to all brands, a lot of happy customers that said, oh, I bought my tractor from Scott's, or I bought my Hampshire, I can't talk right now, guys, I'm sorry. I bought my tractor from Central New Hampshire Trailers, and I didn't run across anybody that had anything negative to say about the buying experience, the after sales experience. Everyone was super excited about that, which again, for me, it's one thing. A lot of guys know what tractor they're looking for. They know what implements they want, but they aren't able to do a lot of research on the dealer that they're working with beforehand. Whereas with you guys, everything I found was solid, and it was all out there. People were happy to share it.
Yeah, the Facebook groups have been kind of fun to follow along with. There's a few of them, like TYM tractor owners and some of the others, and it's wicked cool to see people post about our dealerships. I'll just kind of, veg out at 9 o'clock at night, like unwind. I'll pull up a TYM owners group.
You better watch it. Your head's going to start swelling and getting real big.
No, it's cool to see that my staff is taking it as seriously as I am. Because I mean, I don't do this. Like, I do a tiny, tiny fraction of what we do. Yep. And when I see, oh, Jason Turner, like, best service experience ever, I'm like just ecstatic to see how seriously my staff is taking it. So
awesome, cool. What do you say we take a walk over and see my tractor?
Let's go check it out.
All right, awesome. So this is it. This is our TYM 494 cab hydrostat. I guess like CH or HC is the official designation. This is the beast that we're going to be running at the Mindful Homestead for the foreseeable future. This is hopefully the last tractor we ever have to buy. Gonna kind of go over like some of the features with Reed that made me look at this tractor and made me realize, hey, this is a pretty awesome bargain for what you're getting for the money that you're spending. I guess we'll start up front at the loader. What's going on here?
Yeah, so this tractor has a 2,790 pound lift capacity at the pins, which is phenomenal for its size. You got the skid steer quick attach front end, so you can swap into a grapple, which he got over there. He didn't.
About those in a minute.
He's set up. I'm excited to see some of the stuff that Jack does on the farm.
Jackie gave me free reign on this to basically put together a package of everything I've wanted to have for the last few years, and we went for it. So
in a matter of just a couple minutes, he can take the bucket off, put the grapple on, and connect to his third function kit up front, which is just auxiliary hydraulics to run, say, a grapple or auger, anything that's just kind of momentary hydraulics, not like a high flow skid steer snowblower like you'd see up front. It's prepped on the joystick with 2 buttons from the factory already. So a lot of the other kits, you gotta run like a line, do all your own wiring, get into the 12-volt system, add that jumper line, and then it's like just normal rubber hoses run. This is a factory TYM kit, so.
The fit and finish on it is solid.
Yeah.
This is the Coupe J engine, the legendary Coupe J engine. What's going on with it? Why is it a big deal?
So very simple, mechanically fuel injected. So I love using the Yanmar comparison because we sell Yanmar powered TYMs. Like that's in about half the models, so I can poke a little fun at them and be not biased. Yanmar is very advanced, a lot of sensors, a lot of technology. They're great engines, but they're pretty complicated. The emissions, it's a lot more going on. Might have 20 to 23 sensors, whereas this only has maybe like 7 sensors on the whole engine. Once this thing is fired up, the fuel pump is literally driven off of the engine. It's kind of like the old-fashioned tractors you'd see, where you like have to like kill the fuel to like shut it off. Same deal with this. It's electronic fuel shut off, but this thing, once you get it fired, you're good to go.
That's awesome. Yeah, and everything's super accessible. Your oil filters, everything you need to tweak and do maintenance on this thing is right out in the open. It's it's a really easy engine to work on. Yeah. That's awesome.
Maintenance is definitely was a priority when they engineered these models. I mean, anybody. I mean, I'm not a genius in mechanics by any means at all, but I've done services on these lickety split. So.
Really awesome. In tractors of this size, you are looking at whether it's some sort of diesel emissions control setup. And in this tractor, one of the things that stood out to me was that the regen setup for the diesel particulate filter, it's simply 2 sensors, one fore and one aft of that filter. And if it senses a pressure differential too great, it closes a valve and burns off that diesel particulate filter, which is, it doesn't retard the engine, it doesn't do anything else, it doesn't put it in a limp mode. It just simply says, hey, let's close this flapper and clean that filter out. Whereas other tractors, you may have to deal with DEF and different things. This is straightforward, as simple as it gets.
Yeah, this doesn't have an EGR as well. Some brands have it, some don't. EGR means exhaust gas recirculation.
It recirculates, yep.
So it literally, the exhaust gas comes out of the engine and they're like, yeah, it's just not clean enough. We're gonna run that back through again, and then it would go to the DPF and out. But so this does not have an EGR.
So looking around, I mean, this is the factory cab. It's, it's definitely set up. It comes from the factory with the cab on. It's not an add-on after. Everything is super accessible. My visibility is great. You've got these nice top to bottom doors. The features they're adding in this thing for a factory cab, you're getting a heater, but in most tractors of this size, you're going to find that. You are also getting air conditioning in this tractor, which for hot summer days, I mean, I know I'm not down in Texas, but it is nice having AC inside your cab. It also comes with a Kenwood Bluetooth stereo, which is pretty cool. I don't know how I'm going to manage that when I'm doing work, if I'm going to be able to play some tunes and not get a copyright strike on YouTube. But just the amenities inside here, the cab is comfortable, it's nice and big. It's plenty big enough where, I'm going to be looking at adding a buddy seat for Emma. The seat suspension, I mean, again, you're talking, at tractors like this, at this price point, you're typically seeing a lot of these features that I'm pointing out as options, and this tractor is not optioned out at all. The tractor itself, aside from the third function up front, I didn't add anything else to this. And your loader joystick is right here, super handy. You've got that third function right on the loader control, which is factory. It's polished, it's not unfinished at all. The wheel is tilting. The seat can move forward and back. It's really just a great super functional layout for a tractor that comes this way. 12-volt sockets, USB charging. Emma's gonna have a blast in this thing. I'm gonna have a blast in it too, but this thing's great. So tell me what's going on around back of the tractor. Tell me what's going on back here that you might not find at other tractors at this price point.
Yeah, you get everything right out of the gate. Bone stock T574 hydro cab model. You get telescopic link arms. You get a lot of adjustability up here. You get the drawbar standard. And the biggest of all, you get 2 sets of rear remotes standard. And also, not a lot of brands do this, but yeah, you can pull that down. You can kind of see.
Big. You don't have to get out. Well, it's not going to go up because the tractor's off. But you don't have to hop back in, get back out, hop back in, get back out. You can essentially back up, and as long as you're close to your implement, you can adjust with the grab handle right here and move your arms up or down and get things hooked up. I mean, that was my biggest pain on our Kubota, was I would get back and I'd have the arms out and I would be close, but I wouldn't be, so I had to pull forward a little bit, and then one side would go in, the other side wasn't lined up exactly. The telescopic arms and then having this back here is just a huge, huge feature. And again, you don't have to pay extra for it. It's coming with the tractor.
I'll also note too, the lift capacity is a little over 3,300 pounds on the 3-point. So there's not any real attachment that would be suitable for this size that it won't be able to lift.
Yeah, and everything back here, I mean, you're looking at it, everything is cast, it's super burly, it's built well, you've got hardened bolts on everything. It's one of those things where they very obviously didn't skimp on what they were putting together back here. They built a super strong tractor.
They made it easy on us dealers. We don't have to keep adding stuff. We don't have to add the telescope link arms. We don't have to add the remote. It just kind of, everything comes.
Yeah, the service guys are probably super psyched. They don't have to be adding all these features on when the tractors are going out the door.
Yeah.
Good looking rear lights. You know, you've got this awesome back window on the cab that opens up, work lamps. All right, you want to take a look at what implements we're getting with all this stuff?
Yeah.
All right,
Awesome, man.
This is where things get real fun. All right, so the implements we're getting, I've got grapple, landscape rake for maintaining our driveway, and then we've got a 68-inch inverted pull type snowblower out back, that's going to be super fun. But I guess we'll just run through and talk real quickly about each one of these. What do we got going on with the grapple?
Yeah, so this is a CID grapple. It's a ARS-GR72. So it's 72 inches. It's got dual cylinders, and the primary construction of this is 3/8 AR400 steel. So a lot higher grade steel than you'd see in a lot of conventional ones. Mm-hmm. And why they have to do that on this grapple rake to get the best performance is you want those tines at the bottom to stick out a ways so that you can scrape kind of in the dirt.
Yep.
And clean up all the sticks, brush, and everything like that. And so you need those tines to be pretty strong, which this has.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, you've got all this bracing in between, like all those tines. You've got these holes cut in the tines themselves, which are going to lighten things up and, you know, really kind of preserve your lift capacity of the loader. That's a big thing. A lot of people throw grapples on their tractors, and it's easy to overbuild a grapple and give it a ton of weight. But then all of a sudden, when you go to start picking up logs and things with the front of your tractor, you've put all that payload into the grapple and not what you're lifting. Definitely an awesome design here. Super psyched on this. It's going to make cutting wood a whole lot easier. You guys have seen me almost flip the Kubota trying to deal with logs on the front end of it. Not going to be flipping this thing anytime soon. And then we've got a 7-foot landscape rake over there. That is going to be the maintainer of the driveway. That's kind of what we're doing mostly with that. Not really a ton to say there, except it does have it angles, it moves. You know, you can put an angle on it. Anything super special about that?
Handy for so many different things. Like you'll find yourself like coming up with stuff to do that you'd never imagined with.
I feel like that's going to be like, it's almost never going to leave the back end of the tractor. It's just going to be on there in case I can use it for whatever. One of the biggest things I want to use that for once we get the tractor home is I got to start raking out the field. We've got these, you know, 2 pastures out front that we've cleared. Everyone on the channel has seen them before, and you know, there's tons of rocks that the pigs have dug up last year. I got to get rid of all that stuff. So that's going to be great for doing that stuff.
That'll work awesome.
Cool. And then let's talk about the snowblower. So this is the pièce de résistance of our snow removal efforts here on the homestead. This is an upshot snowblower by WeFo, and it's 68 inches, and it's a pull type snowblower, which not many people are super familiar with, especially here in the States. Do you want to kind of explain what's going on with pull type snowblowers and why we're seeing a lot more of them out there these days?
Absolutely. I was so happy when we were talking snowblowers, and you're like, yeah, I want an inverted style. I was like, oh, thank you. I normally have to talk people from a conventional style or a front mount into this style. It's my favorite by far. When you put, nobody likes to look backwards all the time, and when you're driving backwards with a normal conventional style, I mean, it's definitely the most economical, it's reliable, they work great. And not to knock them at all, because it's a great option. But for people with longer driveways and longer areas, they want to drive forward so their neck's not sore, and you don't have to worry about like backing into something. Like if you go over a little rock, it's not really going to hurt this. So you can be looking forward 80% of the time, say. Your PTO shaft connects directly right here, and it's a super simple mechanism. It kind of goes back, and it splines off, and then it turns the main auger. But this is the most efficient. This is the same efficiency essentially as a conventional rear-facing one. If you have a front one, normally you're going off the mid-PTO, There's a lot more shaft, rotating weight, joints, universal joints, and then if you did like a hydraulic power pack off the front too, that's even more lost efficiency. So to get the, I mean, you need power when you're snow blowing. So as far as just operator comfort, efficiency, and I mean build quality, this thing is made up in Canada.
Super solid.
Canadians just seem to build things just a little bit.
That's all the best snowblowers, I feel like, come out of Canada.
Yeah. And this one too has the optional hydraulic chute rotation. So with the standard rear remotes that this tractor comes with, he'll be able to plug the hoses right in and have chute rotation. And probably the most important thing I forgot to mention, when you don't have a front mount snowblower, that means you still can have your loader and bucket on the front.
And that's huge too, because where we are, I always end up having to move piles of snow and things like that. Or with that last storm that you guys all saw, we had trees that had blown down and then were snowed over top of, and I didn't know they were there until the snowblower runs into them. I would have had, without having to, you know, take the snowblower off, I just called my neighbor and had him come over with his loader and move him out of the way. But with a rear pull type snowblower, one, you know that if you hit something, you're gonna be running over it first. So you're gonna know right away, hey, there's something here I gotta move. But you actually have the loader on the tractor still. You don't have to pull that loader off. As nice as a front mount is, just sitting there tootling along, you lose a whole lot of capability, essentially half the capability of your tractor by putting a front mount on. So the pull type snowblowers, they give you the ability to drive forward and not crane your neck, but also have that loader on the front, which is, it's kind of the best of both worlds. So there we have it, folks. We are going red. We've sold the Kubota is no more, and we now have a red tractor. I'm really excited. I don't know, I'm sure you're excited you sold the tractor, but you didn't have to do much work on this one.
Yeah, I just got a lot of passion for building that long-term customer-dealer relationship. Yep. This is the start of us supporting you for many years for any parts, service needs, and so I get excited about that.
Cool. Well, hey Reed, it's been great working with you on the purchase of the tractor. Can't wait to have it on the homestead, and you guys will be seeing a lot of it in the future. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day. Bye.